morning, everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. Of course, we got Bobby G in the house because it is a Tuesday. What's happening, guys?
What up? It's a beautiful day, except the fact that Tanner Bibby's still a Guardian.
And hey, listen, Luis Array is a Philadelphia Philly, and he is going to be the one that brings us to the promised land, allows us to beat the Dodgers, and he's going to do it all by himself.
I mean, that is a fair amount of pressure. Man, yeah, it's funny because we started out. We started out dumping Castillo, right? And then we hear they were shopping Hancock, Kirby, and Randy Arozarena, which is one of our better hitters. And I was just like, oh, so we're sellers. That's good to know. And then they turn around and they pick up Wade from the Orioles, who, he's a left fielder, batting .246. So he immediately becomes our third best hitter. And it's like, well, I don't really know what we're doing. I mean, half of what they were doing made it look like we were selling. Half of what we were doing made it look like we were going to make a push. Ward isn't exactly like the splash play that you would be hoping for. Be like, oh, we're really trying to elevate. You're like, okay, yeah, he's solid. So it was a good move. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it's not like you made anything that made you noticeably better. So I don't know. That's the Mariners front.
I would have loved to have had Randy Arozarena here. Not that he fits, I mean, he's a right-handed bat, though.
And he's good. So that's the thing is I would have been bummed if they'd have got rid of him, because since he got here last year, he's been great.
And he's been your best dressed guy on the team.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, that walk-off on Saturday was mostly because of his base running. It had very little to do with Cal's, hit directly at the first baseman. But so he's been good fielding. He's been good batting, good base awareness. So as soon as they're like, oh, we're shopping him, it's like, man, come on.
I hear that. Nick, since you happen to be here, does it seem very odd that the Dodgers are collecting starting pitching? Doesn't it seem odd now that they have 9 starting pitchers?
First of all, your Dodgers, you don't get to complain about anything.
No, no. 100%.
Dodger Invitational.
I get it. I get it. And listen, we had this conversation yesterday, unfortunately, and you're right. There's if I am a Dodgers fan, I can only be happy. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that I am really the only team doing everything it can to make sure that we win a championship. So I can't argue in that regard. However,
I mean, they are
collecting starting pitching. They're collecting starting pitching in a way that is ridiculous. Our bullpen sucks so bad, so we're going to litter it with starting pitchers.
Well, I think what you might do is move some of those starting pitchers into the bullpen.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. And that's a whole different animal. That animal fails. There have been teams that have tried to do that.
Hey, here's hoping.
So I listen. That's you want to talk about the Achilles heel of the Dodgers, and it was the same thing last year. It was just that for whatever reason, the Phillies. I felt like it was only the Phillies or Toronto that could have taken advantage of it. And neither team did. The Toronto did better at it than the Phillies did. But every game, I felt like, minus the first game of the series, because I thought the Dodgers smoked us that game, and then they beat us in 4. But in Game 4 in LA, it was a race to the bullpen. The first one that gets to the bullpen loses. That's how that game. That's how that was going. And of course, it didn't work that way. Obviously, Orion Kirkring with the error, with the brain fart, 2 outs. All he's gonna do is throw it to first, and he blows it. I get it. He freaked out in a minute. I'm sure he'll never do that again. That being said, Toronto, same situation. They had their opportunities and couldn't get that final hit. That's what it seemed like. It seemed like guys in scoring position couldn't get the final hit to get them across the plate. And you have to credit the Dodgers for that. That being said, they got like 9 starting pitchers right now. And I've never heard, short of John Smoltz, of starting pitchers being able to just naturally transition into a bullpen position and start pitching on a daily basis.
So I don't know that they got to naturally transition. They just got to be better than what's on their team.
Or maybe the Dodgers are trying to create something new. The bullpen is a myth. We're going to have 9 starting pitchers. They're all going to pitch complete games. You're not going to out-hit us.
Yes.
And we only have to start a guy every 9 days. So,
I mean, you could legitimately do that at that point. And then you still have a closer just in case.
Well, the one guy's hurt. So it's only going to be 8, until the other guy gets back.
Yeah.
But I find it odd. And again, if there's a weak link, this is it. It's okay. I think that you guys are trying to solve a problem by doing something that's, is really, really all like it's not there, not 100%. This isn't the way to do this, I think. And I am hoping I'm right. I mean, because it could still. I mean, listen, this could backfire completely, and this could be exactly the way to solve this problem.
Sure. Well, and I mean, if it doesn't solve the problem, if you're every other team, you have to absolutely shell their bullpen to win games because everybody else is good.
You got to get them to the bullpen.
Well, that's what I'm saying is you don't have in there, and then you have to absolutely destroy them.
Well, it's not a matter of even destroying them. It's a matter of now you have to be very, very smart starting from the first at bat. You can't go first pitch swinging. You got to be able to be very methodical against each one of their pitchers. You have to right now, especially right now, because they still are working off of a 6-man rotation, probably are about to go to a 7-man because where are you going to put all these starting pitchers? You know what I mean? Somebody's going to have to get hurt. Ultimately they're going to put somebody on the IL. That's bound to happen that way. They're going to give somebody a break for 15 days. And then that's what's going to happen from here on out. You're going to see soreness in the elbow. We're going to give them 15 days off. Just because that's the only way that they're going to be able to really do this methodically and get everybody ready for the playoffs at the right time and give everybody a little rest. That being said, though, it's like you have to be very methodical now when you go up to the plate against them. And you want to work every count to at least a 2-2 count. It's almost like you're not swinging the bat until you get 2 strikes. I mean, I know that sounds odd, but you got to almost put it in that position here. Like you need 4 pitches at least from every batter, because you want to get him out. So even if they're pitching a no-hitter, a perfect game, that by the 7th inning, they have, a lot of pitches in, that it's going to be really tough for them to keep that perfect game. Is kind of what I'm getting at. And I'm doing this in the strangest of scenarios where I know that not every pitcher is going to have a perfect game going into the 7th.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you got to have
when you're the other
that.
batter, you're just lining them straight at the pitcher.
So, but that requires a certain level of coaching specifically for one team. And I don't trust all these teams. And then you get the rookies that are like, they're swinging out of their shoes in the very first pitch because the eyes are wide and they feel like the ball is moving super slow and things like that. This is this time now where you actually have to have a very strong. This is coaching now. Coaching can beat the Dodgers. I think coaching can beat the Dodgers. Really good coaching can beat the Dodgers. My opinion.
I believe in you. I believe everything you said, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
However,
it's still going to be done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like in theory, that sounds
in
great.
my matrix. The Dodgers are Thanos with 2 Infinity Gloves.
Yeah, no, exactly. And he's just sitting there like this, like, go ahead, you finish out your season. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, they got the 7th Infinity Stone. There wasn't even there. It's like,
right. They created one more for no reason.
Yeah, we use the Infinity Stones to create more.
You got
Infinity
the 6 on the
Stones.
back of the head, but you forgot the one that's on the palm.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the baseball now. That's it.
Yep.
Oh man.
But there was a tremendous amount of trades. Tremendous amount of trades.
Yeah,
a lot more than has happened.
You know there is.
A lot more than I think had. Well, last year I felt like everybody was tentative, and certain teams made certain trades, and that was it. And it was all very, a lot of moving parts for a little bit of movement. This year, the gloves were off. People were accepting. I felt like that the one bad trade was Boston trying to get the catcher, and they overpaid for that catcher. I feel, and like I said, I don't even know his name, but I know when I saw that, it was just like, that's a lot. They really gave up a lot for that. Everybody else was willing to just get rid of players. Now that tells me something. It's a whole different story. This is a foreshadow into next year. We're trading all of our players right now. We're going to definitely disrupt the whole money thing right now, because next year we're not having a season. I think that the flurry of action that you saw has to do with the foreshadow of no baseball in 27.
Yeah, I think the Skubal thing, that's what pushes it over the top. Is Dodgers getting yet another star. I think the rest of the league is like, okay.
Well, and it's interesting because I mean, again, the Score app came out with a story talking about how that he said that Skubal kind of said straight out, like, oh yeah, any team could have traded for me. Straight out lying. He's just straight out lying for the Dodgers. Sure. And he's doing it for them to save face.
Yeah.
Like that's what this is done for now. Now it's happening because the Dodgers know they are the reason why this is happening. They are ultimately, Nick, you could say whatever you want and you could be happy about your 3rd championship in a row, but ultimately it's the Dodgers that are causing baseball to going to miss a year. And they're now trying to position their players to be able to say things so that it doesn't seem like that they're doing it irresponsibly. because they are doing it irresponsibly. But it doesn't matter, because if irresponsible means you win a ring, is it really irresponsible?
It's innovative. That's what they call it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hey, listen, these are the rules, and we're playing by them. And I wish the Phillies could have. I wish the Phillies could do this. I heard that there was some major talk between the Phillies and the Angels to get Mike Trout.
Yeah.
That there was a lot of conversation. And ultimately, what stopped them from doing it is next year.
Yeah, this is why we're saying he was lying. Everybody else could have done that.
And the truth of the matter is that, I mean, they're paying. You want to know why they can afford it? Because they deferred everybody else's money. Mm-hmm. So that's the cheating that they did before put them in the position to be able to do this now.
It's in the framework of the rules. Like it's not really cheating. It's awesome.
It's a form of cheating. This is a form of cheating. This is the same thing.
Like in the gray.
This is the same thing as in hockey when, hey, we're going to keep our guy out the entire season. He's not going to be on our cap. We're not getting this cap hit. They're paying over $150 million in the future.
Sure.
For a team right now.
Yeah.
And they're doing this for a lot of reasons. It's not just, listen, the players want this because, listen, the players ain't going to be in California there, and they're not going to have to pay the ridiculous taxes that come with playing in LA when they get paid. That's the whole reason why Shohei got all his money deferred. He does not want to have a California address. Yeah. Send that check to Japan. Let Japan tax me.
Hey, I'm not mad at the I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. And only our older crowd will know that reference, but
yeah,
that one goes back a couple years.
A couple. But I tell you, it's going to, like I said, no baseball next year puts the Dodgers in a tough situation. Their margin call gets called, and
hey, I'm here for it.
And them declaring bankruptcy will create a problem. No, listen, I'm not salty here. The truth of the matter is that as much as I have a disdain for the Dodgers, and I know that you love hearing that I hate the Dodgers, I've always hated the Dodgers. This goes back to Tommy Lasorda. You know what I mean? So it's and to be honest, up until last year in the playoffs, the Phillies have had the Dodgers number. So it's not like anything that you couldn't speak about this well before. Just because you did it last year,
it was a more important time to do it. I'll give them
that. It's what have you done for me lately? But I mean, we could go back and talk about all the times that the Dodgers have not beaten the Phillies.
Sure, and it's a regular season.
But regular season, playoffs, and everything.
I got you.
I mean, it was a long time that the Dodgers had not. The Dodgers have faced the Phillies a lot of times in the playoffs. The Dodgers have lost a lot of times in the playoffs. They won last year, and they win the World Series. You know what I mean? And it's again, can't argue that.
Nick, your Dodgers are the Taylor Swift song. It's me. I'm the problem.
I would agree with that.
You taste all the salt all the way over there. That makes sense.
That's the Amalfi Coast.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and Jamie's got to be happy that the Pirates chose to be buyers. That they are actually going after it a little bit. That's not something that he normally gets to talk about. Usually, Pittsburgh is in the seller's mode. Always in the seller's mode. So the fact that they have chosen to be buyers even makes him. I got to make sure makes him excited.
And Nick, yes, I complain about that era of the Yankees a lot, especially as a Mariners fan, because when we did accidentally get into the playoffs, there's this group that ended up knocking us out.
But and yes, of course, because everybody did it that way. They were the evil empire. This was the George Steinbrenner. Like he was buying rings. George Huizenga learned that in one season. He's like, oh, you know what? I spend enough money, I could buy a ring. And he did.
Yeah.
One with the Marlins. Literally like, hey, I'm going to put together a super team and we're going to go beat whoever we have to play against. And what happened? He put together a super team and they won a World Series.
Twice.
No, and listen, I'm not cheating's not the right word. So stop using my words against me. I'm not really meaning what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? There's no rules. There's no rules saying what's going on.
Ever.
That is a blanket statement for anything he says.
My stuff always works sometimes.
Exactly. These views might not even be mine. Man.
It's just that there were an awful lot of trades. And when all is said and done, like I said, I think that I was surprised the Dodgers didn't do more, but I also realized that they probably don't have anything else to trade. They just don't. Their lineup is like the best lineup in baseball anyways, so why change anything in the field? Just the collection of starting pitching has got me with the question mark on in my head, and but exclamation point after it, like, is that our chance? Is that our chance? And I don't even know if the Phillies are going to be strong enough to do it. I just don't know.
Hey,
I tell you what, Nick, that's fine. I'm going to be out to LA for those games too, because I will travel to those games, and I will tell you, don't lose. Don't lose, Nick, right. Because then I'm calling you up as we're doing the show at 6 a.m.
Oh no, we're gonna make you come on.
It's that's like I said, it's don't lose because you're supposed to win. You're supposed to win now. Everybody's got you. Somebody asked me yesterday, are the Dodgers negative money to win the World Series?
They have to be.
No, they can't be. I figure that they might be at plus 120. You can't. The Dodgers versus the field is, I think, still makes them positive money. You can't be negative money yet. Not yet.
Man, I don't know. I mean, you're not wrong. Like that's what it should be. At the same time,
yeah.
But let's find out. What do we got?
What did Cleveland do? Anything?
We were actually buyers. They made a lot of moves.
Any of them good?
We picked up Nathaniel Lowe from the Reds. Who was the arm from the Nationals? Foster Griffin.
He's actually a good pitcher.
Joe Adell from the Angels. They made moves to make it look like they were trying to compete, which makes most Cleveland fans happy. Me, it's just, I know you're just holding a mirror in front of my face, trying to David Copperfield it. Like, I'm with, like, we didn't have the assets to trade for Tariq Skubal. Of course we did. Like it's, and that's what it is for me. But the only thing that I'm not disappointed, they didn't do the same thing they usually do, which is try and pull the cover over your eyes and trade for like a 35 or 36-year-old. At least all the guys are young. They could potentially they compete right now and build for the future. I think Griffin is like the oldest guy. He's 31. But most of the guys are between 23 to 28 years old. So It's not just like a, hey, look, we're trying to win, win the division, or we're trying to catch the wild. It's a genuine attempt to compete and for the future. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's better than whatever they've done the last 3 years at the trade deadline, for sure.
See, that's where you sound a lot like me. They're like, hey, we did something which is better than what we normally do. Yeah, no, it's yeah. So when the expectation is literally on the floor, then everything you're like, I mean, I don't know, we tried kind of like
yeah, we're now good enough to make it to the second round and lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus 150 is what the Dodgers are to win it all.
So yeah, that's I didn't think that they were negative yet.
No, it won't go negative until you actually enter the playoffs. But at the same time, when you're looking at the roster, it basically should have been. Yeah, so the Rangers were sellers, and that was interesting. I didn't expect them to be sellers, considering they were leading our division.
And it's so funny. DeGrom did not want to come back to the NL East. Like, that was the problem. He didn't want to come back and face against the Mets and the Phillies and so he wanted to be protected down in Texas. Like, it's like, wow. That's and listen, and how about the Mets? Yeah, they said, okay, Soto, you play all the positions because we're trading everybody else.
Yes.
It's like literally he spent all that money on that team. All that money is poof. Just poof. That just tells you that you don't need brains to own a team. Lots of money and you can blow it. Lots of money and you could be one of the most intelligent people in the world, but just because you have a baseball team doesn't mean that you're going to succeed. You spent all that money on that baseball team, and your team is the Mets, and you Metsed it up. You Metsed it up all season long.
No, I mean, it always makes me think on the NFL side, right? Like, if you throw all your draft picks and money at it and it works, like the Rams, you look like a genius, or it doesn't work, like the Saints, and you look like you have no idea what you're doing. They did the same thing. It just worked for one and catastrophically failed for the other.
Right. Yeah. The Dodgers, I mean, not the Dodgers, the Mets had their opportunity and they won against the Phillies, and then they blew it. They lost against the Dodgers. So that's where they went downhill right after that series. Their World Series was beating the Phillies.
Yeah.
And they blew it after that. And they have not been able to do anything since then.
See, and for the Mariners, their World Series is getting in the playoffs at any level.
The thing about the Mariners, though, last year, if you remember, it was one guy came in and sparked the team.
Well, they made a few moves at the deadline.
Right, but there was one guy specifically. I don't remember who it was specifically, but all of a sudden came in, started hitting, and you guys went on a little bit of a streak. I remember watching the run.
Yeah,
we were watching it, and just
it's when they brought in Randy, actually.
Yeah, so there's a piece of me that thinks that that could happen again. Now, I don't know who you guys brought in. I don't know if Castillo, like it made me wonder, like, getting rid of Castillo, was he just the only one expendable enough?
No, he actually was not playing well for the Mariners. So he was like, I think he was like 2-6 as a starter. Having one of his worst years of his career. And we do have some depth in the farm system when it comes to pitching. So if we were to get rid of some pieces, there are reasonably talented guys that they can bring up. from AAA. I imagine that was the thinking behind some of these moves, which is why they were potentially shopping Kirby and Hancock, because we do have some guys in the farm system that they would be looking at. Grabbing Ward, again, he's going to be our third best hitter right from the rip, right? So, I mean, it's a good pickup. It's just, is it enough to do anything? I mean, it's probably enough to help propel to the front of the division because their division is awesome. But I mean, outside of that, I don't know that anybody from this division is doing anything once you get into the playoffs.
Again, I don't think that matters. I think that it's going to depend on pitching because everybody in the AL stinks. It's just, and the only team that I thought, the only team that I really felt got considerably better at the plate was the Rays. Like they actually did, they went after some bats and got them. It's great when you have a farm system that has like 8 of the top 100 prospects because you can trade 1 or 2 of them, and all of a sudden it looks like you gave a haul. But
yeah.
It's going to be an interesting second half of the season. I feel that you guys are not out of it, obviously, because everybody in that division is still in it, and even the Angels, I feel.
The Angels are done. I think they're almost 14 games back at this point. Like unless they went on an epic heater and everyone else just couldn't find a win. I mean, they're pretty much done.
And Nick, to answer your question about Harper, I am a little skeptical. The truth of the matter is that I am concerned about his arm. Like that. So he got the Tommy John surgery. And ultimately he couldn't throw the ball, and he couldn't really throw the ball for a couple of years. Even when he gets the ball and everybody like throws it over the netting, when he gets the ball at first base, he only does that like a third of the time. And I feel like that's telltale. Now, they had him yesterday. They had him throwing long ball, like, let's see what you got and let's see what you have. And his motion still can throw a ball over 90 miles an hour, which is what his thing was. Like he could throw the ball. I think it was like clocked at like 93, 94 miles an hour from the outfield. So when you're pitching from the outfield and you're throwing strikes that come across the plate, that's great. However, now he is 4 years, 5 years removed from that. And I don't know that it's going to equate the same. He definitely doesn't have the same speed. So that means you're hoping that Hall, who hit a grand slam yesterday to make me not a liar to the kids that I told. I saw 11 kids who had who were there with the foundation because they all suffer from like early onset arthritis. Anyways, so they were there, and I told them in the 6th inning, as I went over to see them and take a picture with them, I was like, "Hey, don't worry, I'm going to go down. I'm going to go talk to them, and I'm going to make sure they win this game for you guys."
That's funny.
They and then next inning they wind up hitting a grand slam, and it made me look like a hero. So, but I don't. That's going to require Hall to be a lot faster. And I guess that means Marsh is going to also have to play left field on a consistent, which is okay because he's an all-star. Bohm at first base, okay. Stott at third base, okay, I guess. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, all of a sudden you're changing everything around, and I don't like that. That's what I'm nervous about. All of a sudden, we're going to play. We're going to go here. It's What was that game?
Right? If it's not broke, break it.
What was that game that used to play? Like it was a whole bunch of chips, and then it was like capture the flag, but it was a board game. Capture the flag. That's what this reminds me of a little bit. That all of a sudden we're changing our pieces all everywhere and hoping that covers the gaping hole we have in the fact that we are still a terrible team in the field. Yeah, so I thought they should have moved Turner to second base. I think that's what needs to have happen. Turner moves to second base. Stott moves to shortstop. This guy who Arias can play third base, and I guess leave Harper there. I mean, Bohm is still batting better than half of the other players, so I guess you got to leave him in the lineup. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any answers. There's too many holes in not only the Phillies' defense, but with the way that their lineup is constructed to be able to resolve them. You can't resolve them. I can't solve these problems. Like, it's just there was too much, and I think that unfortunately this was caused by Dombrowski, and I'm not a fan of that. Like, I feel like that he's caused the problem, and now even if you have a very wily Mattingly Jr., as general manager, there's only so much you can do. And I think that that's the issue here. I think that there's only so much he can do, that his hands are tied, and they're tied because of Dombrowski, but I also think that it may have to do with the rest of ownership as well, that they make a lot of calls on who they want and who they don't want, and ultimately that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
So who's in the best position now after the trade deadline to win the World Series? And by win the World Series, I mean lose to the Dodgers in the NL Championship Series and lose to the Dodgers in the World Series.
Yeah.
Because those two teams actually make up the simulated World Series.
Padres, maybe. Padres did some good trades. Milwaukee did some things, but I don't know. Like I just still don't believe in Milwaukee.
Yeah,
they got the best record in baseball, and I don't believe in them. Like I don't know why I don't believe in them. Like, obviously they can hit the ball.
That's why.
Yeah, but even on every once in a while, the Brewers make a run. They've won World Series before, right? They're not shut out in the World Series department, right? They've got a ring.
Like, wait, would it be the 70s or 60s?
Yeah, I was going to say it had to have been a long time ago, but
no, I thought it was somewhat recent. Like, it was in the 2000s. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't remember them ever winning.
Yeah, I can't.
In my lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then
I'm sure they probably have won one, but I mean, Atlanta's playing good
Kirby
ball.
Puckett years. Was it the Kirby Puckett years? Was that 90s, I guess?
The Milwaukee Brewers have made only one World Series appearance in their history, losing 4-3 to the St. Louis Cardinals in '82.
Ah, there we go.
Wow. Okay. That answers my question. Yeah, and I don't know that they learned enough last year to be able to beat the Dodgers. Because the Dodgers, like, I felt like got through them handily in the NLCS. Because that's who they played in the NLCS, right? They played the Brewers. They beat the Phillies, they played the Brewers. Did that go 7 games?
I don't remember.
For some reason, I remember it going 7 games, but I don't remember what happened. Like, other than the Dodgers winning. Like, I was out of baseball at that point. It was football season for me.
The Brewers, no, it was a sweep.
Oh, 5.
4-0.
Oh, it was 4-0.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. That's why I don't remember it. It was not. Yeah, they got there and pooped the bed.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know that they've learned enough to do that. Like I said, I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all.
Sure.
Which brings me back to, all right, so that's still the Padres. And I still think it's the Padres or the Phillies.
Yeah.
And the Phillies, I'm going more off of history.
Sure.
Thinking that for whatever reason, they like, playing against LA. Last year being the outlier where I think the Dodgers hadn't won a playoff series since like 1972. I think the year I was born. I think it was like 50 some years. Before, since the Dodgers were able to beat the Phillies in a playoff series. So, the Phillies got to be playing a hell of a lot better than they are right now. And I still got to figure out like what you're doing with Nola. You can't have him pitch in the playoffs. He's not. You're going to a 3-man rotation. You're doing that 3-man rotation against the 6-man rotation. That's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Not believing in Atlanta. I mean, they've been playing good. And it's not isolated. Like they've been playing good baseball all year.
For whatever reason, it's funny that I don't ever mention the Braves, and they are there. They are continuously winning games. They go on a little bit of a bad streak, and next thing you know, they're back up to 8-9 games above 500 and such like that. There's something about that team that I think they are the epitome of pucker.
Gotcha.
That they squeeze the bats when it comes time.
So it's an Atlanta playoff team. I got you. Like,
yeah, and until they prove otherwise, could they beat the Dodgers? Probably. They're probably out of all the teams constructed, they probably are the team that's constructed the right way to be able to go after and beat the Dodgers. I just don't. Again, they're like the Mets.
Yeah,
they mess it up when it comes time. I could almost call it like the Phillies. Like, again, if you look at it the opposite way, where 22 was the outlier, where, hey, we happened to go on a hot run and we wound up going to the World Series because we got hot at the right time and did certain things. And,
sure.
The bats all of a sudden got crazy and we had that level of excitement, and then you think of last year, Bader comes in, he's all of a sudden giving us a spark. He's hitting the ball, he's doing those things, and then he gets hurt. And, we fizzle after that. So can the Braves do it? Do they have that? I just don't know I don't know that they have a playoff mentality. And I know that they won a World Series recently. They won it, in 2021. So 5 years ago, they won a World Series.
How weird is the second part of this? The White Sox. The fact that we're talking about the White Sox winning games at all is something that feels weird after the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
They're playing really good baseball, though. Like, I'm not discounting that at all. It just sounds weird because you're used to saying they set a new record for losing.
And now they're leading their division 2 years later.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens when you have somebody who hits home runs. I mean, that's really what the difference is. You have somebody who hits home runs and your life changes.
Yeah. Freaking Vargas is killing it this season.
Well, and that kid from Japan.
Yeah.
It's like that kid is, he's got 26 home runs and
exactly. Now it's just the Rockies, which are still terrible. Yeah.
Well, and you still have the Angels.
Yeah, they're battling for being the worst.
Right. But, and that was the other thing, because when I was talking to the guy yesterday about the possibility I was going to have to go pick up Mike Trout from the airport, I was making that joke. And he's like, I don't think he wants to leave Anaheim. Like he'll say that he'll remove the no trade clause, but realistically, I don't think he wants to go. I think he likes living in California. Yeah. I think that if he was to come to Philadelphia, that because he grew up in Philadelphia and the Phillies were his favorite team, anybody who ever thought they knew you in high school is going to reach out and say, "Hey, get me some tickets." You know what I mean? It becomes like a burden of some sort, and I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Even though he's a different world now.
Yeah,
like that's he's in a whole different world. Like he's multi-millionaire, who. Hey, I may be talking to 2 or 3 friends from high school, but likely I'm not.
Yeah.
I've got a whole different set of friends now. You know what I mean? So, but family is family, and it's like you can't get rid of your name.
I mean, he may also be one of those guys who's just wants to see one team on the back of his baseball card.
That could be.
Yeah.
Or he just likes being, at the beach and the weather not sucking.
Right. If I listen, if with all the problems he's had with his back, I got to imagine the humidity is going to not help.
True. Certainly the cold wouldn't.
Yeah, he is going to be, I think, one of those players that's never going to win a ring unless he does it in the last 2 years of his playing.
Do a little ring chasing
somewhere where he becomes, where at like 38 years old, he becomes a pinch hitter.
Hey.
Like Matt Stairs. That's right. I look at him as like a Matt Stairs type, where he's like, "Hey, I'm on this team, and I think this team is going to do something. I want to be the bench player on occasion. You can put me in as DH or whatever, but for the most part, I am."
So he's headed to the Dodgers.
Right.
We don't actually need you, but we'll add you to the roster.
But that's going to have to happen after baseball comes back in 2029.
20. Okay, so you're missing a couple of years. I gotcha.
I mean, I think we'll have a season in 2028. I think that it's going to go all the way to April. And then they're going to figure it out. And then they'll have a spring training in April. And you'll have like a 90 or 100 game season.
And it'll be 40 games of horrible baseball to start it out.
Yeah, because I mean, they will have like a 28-day, spring training in the summer. It'll be like all of April will be spring training. They'll figure it out right at the beginning of April. That's what again, I don't have a crystal ball here. I have no idea. You know what I mean? It's
right.
That's right. No crystal balls, only tinfoil hats. That's what we got.
That is correct. So, but listen, let's get to that. We'll get to that. Who got hurt in football yesterday or this weekend?
So, a couple of them that are notable. One for the Bears, former Seahawk Kobe Bryant. They brought him in to help solidify that secondary. Ends up with a knee injury, out 8 to 10 weeks, which, they can't be excited about that. The other one is CJ Gardner-Johnson. Ends up going down what looked like was going to be an Achilles injury, which that's pretty rough because they also needed the help back there. It is now listed as a lower calf strain. So if that's the case, then they dodged a bullet.
Big one.
Yeah. So
maybe.
Well, it may still pop later. I mean,
yeah, I'm saying he's just chased, because in the NBA that's a death sentence. You already know what's coming next, and it's
generally yes.
Yeah, it's just win.
But it didn't pop yet, so you're saying there's a chance.
and I know that AJ Brown, thumb injury.
Yeah, dislocated thumb, but then he went out to say, but I didn't miss any time, so I guess cool. I don't know. He's got to now, right? Because they're going to be like, look, we get it, you toughed it out. Go throw some ice on it. You're not practicing tomorrow, so whatever.
Do some laps.
Exactly. And yes, the Niners receiver room. Obviously, we have to say that Debo did re-sign with the Niners. And so I guess you get to pick which week he gets hurt, but that fits in the Niners system. So where everyone gets hurt every year. And so Myles Garrett has some backs. I mean, honestly, everybody's going to have soft tissue stuff, right? Because they just had a bunch of, time off where they weren't really doing a lot of stuff. Soft tissue stuff, I'm never worried about.
Myles Garrett has been dealing with back soreness since his car accident like 3 years ago.
And not for nothing. Anybody who's got any bit of veteran leadership is saying, no, I don't feel like practicing.
Yeah. Especially in camp, right? Like once you get into preseason stuff, then okay, it's go time. But when you're in camp, you're like, let's let some of these rookies do some stuff. Checking in from Belgium, I like it. I'm with you. If you're a veteran and you can take a few days off here and there, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But speaking of Myles Garrett, and I saw the report. I mean, that I guess Darnold is considering it.
Oh, Aaron Donald? Yeah. That actually sounds closer to happening than not happening at this point. Yeah. So, for all intents and purposes, it looks like that's probably going to be a thing. And man, that's rough. That's going to be scary for the league.
I'd be pissed. At least
we get to see him twice, so that's cool. No, I mean, it'll be as a Seahawk fan, you're like, come on, man. As a football fan, you're like, I kind of want to see what that looks like.
I don't. See, I hate stuff like get off my shine, man. You had 3 years to do this, bro. Now I want to come and I want to show what I can do. I get a chance to lead my own thing, and you want to come in and get you had to shine. Let me get mine off.
I mean, do you think that way, or are you like, hey, this might help solidify that I get a ring? Because once you get the ring and a year passes by, no one's going to remember all the rest of the stuff. They just remember you got a ring.
Because it's never really been like this in football. Like this is kind of like this era is like, if he wins, it's gonna be because Aaron Donald came back. Like this is his first opportunity. The whole thing over his career is, wow, I wonder what Myles Garrett would have done if he'd have been on the winning team. Okay, now I'm on a winning team, and if Aaron Donald comes back, it's gonna become, the Aaron Donald saved the Rams thing. Like, nah, bro, sit home, drink a beer, work out, and watch the game, and let me do what I do.
I don't know. I don't know that I feel that way like that. First off, I mean, weren't you the one that told me that Myles Garrett's a dork?
He is.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just a dork. I think that this is.
We are really inclusive on this show.
But he cares severely about his football legacy.
No, 100%. And I think that's what I'm talking about. That's where I think that you're wrong. That I don't know that he gives a crap about his shine. He wants to win, and he's been on the Browns for so long. And it's tough to relegate yourself to knowing what your team is. You know,
But
that is, and still,
I like that the voice inflection basically implies that it's an affliction to work there.
You know, I had to tell somebody yesterday, I says, we make fun of the Browns every day on this show.
Yeah.
You know, that, and I was telling this to a Ravens fan. I said, their defense is strong enough and that division is bad enough. Browns could be like Charlotte. You know what I mean? They could be like Carolina. You know, that they could actually win this division because everybody else is in such disarray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check out my thoughts on that Wednesday on Game Time 216.
There you go.
No, but here's you know, to combat that thought, like he's literally the only time he's spoken out against the team was recently last year when he demanded the trade. Mm-hmm. And whenever we tried to improve his situation, like remember the year after we drafted him, we could have drafted Bradley Chubb, and it'd been him and Bradley Chubb. And Myles Garrett openly came out and stated, "You know what? No, I'm cool with me and Emmanuel Ogbah have going on."
I mean,
really, Emmanuel Ogbah?
That defense didn't really need any help. Like the defense was amazing. Now the offense,
not his second year in the league.
No, I guess it would have taken another 2
right.
years, I guess. But
and you're clamoring for Emmanuel Ogbah over Bradley Chubb, who at that time I think he was the top pass rusher in that draft. Like, or when we go to pick up a decent caliber free agent, he's always spoken up against the guys on the line instead of, hey, get me some help. So it's like, nah, he wants to shine.
Well, he did. At this point, he might be like, hey, you know what? The paycheck's nice. Let me go get some hardware.
Yeah. But he wants to do it his way. And that's cool. He's earned that right.
And I still think, and again, I'm not wishing injury. Yeah. This is not a wish. But they're Stafford injury away from having a really big problem.
I don't think so.
You think they have a backup quarterback good enough to be able to lead them to a Super Bowl?
With that coaching staff and that talent, yes. I like Ty Simpson. I like Ty Simpson coming into the draft. So.
Okay.
And for Nick, I believe Shedeur will win the competition. I don't think anything will be announced until after joint practices, though. I think that's week 2 preseason against Buffalo.
You do have Taysom Hill saying he will not return to the Saints, but not necessarily retiring, just that he won't go back to the Saints.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see how that comes together. And then Bijan signs an extension, 3-year up to $75 million. So Atlanta doing something right. What's up, Ryan? And then, of course, Baker. Now, I had this clip we listened to the other day, but going to replay it, and then I'll tell you what the offer is that he turned down. And let me know if you still think that this makes sense.
To feel disrespected a little bit, understanding what I've brought to this franchise. One, I'm very, very thankful for the chance they gave me. Do not get me wrong on that. But I've also I really know what I've brought to this franchise, leadership-wise, and even play-wise. It's been some of the best years of my career, and I think it's only going to trend upwards, just being comfortable and feeling that. So disappointing in that regard to not have, to feel disrespected a little bit. And that's really the disappointing part, to feel undervalued.
So the offer he turned down was for $50 million a year. Now, has he played better than the guys making 55 in Love and Tua and Lawrence? Yeah, you can make that argument for sure. He turned it down, not necessarily because of the dollar figure, although I think that might have still been a little bit lower than what he wanted. But they didn't offer him anything longer than 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's the interesting part, is they're like, look, you're they basically are telling you you're not our guy moving forward. Like, you're our guy right now because we don't have another option, but you're not our guy.
And on that note,
and that's it.
Smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz. If you are listening on every other platform, be sure to like and subscribe. And of course, like everybody said, we do have some smooth jazz coming up next right here on 97.3 ICU Radio. Take it easy, everybody.
Peace.